hits. I'm excited that we're having flooding damage. Flooding damage is increasing there in the upper right hand corner, those values. Shot out my rounds. Watch this. A lot of damage. Hit hard with those HEs. Pretty decent reload. Between the HEs, between the flooding. What's up, friends, and welcome back to another World of Warships game with Ronin47R. We have quite the game to share with you today. I don't know why I said we. There's just me, but anywho, if you are a DD fanatic, and even more so, if you really like to balance on the edge of life and death, then the Kleber is for you. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Kleber, I don't know. But this French legendary tier DD is for you. Why is that? Well, again, your mileage may vary, but my opinions are this is a challenging DD, especially if you have come from the very concealed Japanese destroyer line where you're launching torpedoes from afar, eating a bag of popcorn while giggling as ships blow up and sink in the distance. This is like the opposite, where, initially I was running this thing as, just a main gunship and torpedoes were secondary. But really, if you really are going to take some risks, you can go ahead and run this as a torpedo boat. But it's very YOLO. What I mean by that is don't try to kill yourself. But first off, let me introduce you to the ship, right? So it has, the way I built it, 5.1 kilometers of concealment, which frankly is not good enough when you think about how the torpedoes are, the torpedo range rather, just a little bit further than my concealment. So that's a negative. The positives are, though, is you have what you just saw, right? 2 torpedo launchers, 3 torpedoes each on one side of the ship. You can flip around and then launch, 2 more. So that is, a possibility, right? One of the drawbacks, and when I say drawbacks, it makes it harder to learn how to use this ship, is if you really want to play with your torpedoes and take advantage of those, you need to approach your target in ways where the target is approaching you. In other words, if you can get the leeway, right, where the ship is coming towards you, it's going to intersect with your torpedoes, so you guys are, for all intents and purposes, going to meet halfway, it works out, right, because your torpedo range is so short. So if you guys are pacing side by side, you can't even do that because you're going to be spotted. Again, with my build, right? As I've experimented around, using the guns, they're great. But for me and my play style and the way I have this thing set up, what works best for me is guns are second, torpedoes are first. And when they do hit, though, they are pretty powerful. So in this game here, you can see we are, it's too early to say we're not doing well. But, you can see that it's 428. 343 for the scores there. We're down a ship, they're not, so it's not looking too impressive. And I've only spotted. I haven't even done any damage, but I've spotted. And now see, there you go, it's out of range. This is kind of a case in point that I'm talking about. What I do like, though, is that risk and reward, right? So because they are so short, well, I shouldn't say because, but I imagine the way they're designed for balance is that these are so short ranged that the plus side is it's a minute, and I'll call it 13, a minute and 14 second reload for me, which in the scheme of things is, for this level, is pretty quick. I just missed contacting the Montana with those torpedoes. We're down by 3. What's going to happen with this game? This is crazy time. This is nail biting. This is a little frustrating. Again, you always see that suppressive torpedo action that I'm doing out there. Made some torpedo hits. Nice. So now that we have those torpedo hits, I'm excited that we're having flooding damage. Flooding damage is increasing there in the upper right hand corner, those values. Shot out my rounds. Watch this. A lot of damage. Hit hard with those HEs. pretty decent reload between the between the HEs, between the flooding, get that kill, and so that ship is now in Davy Jones's locker. As you're kind of watching the rhythm, you can kind of start to get the vibe where the torpedoes really do, if you're just kind of using one side, the other, suppressing areas, it's they seem to, even though it's a minute and change, it seems relatively short for the reload. Oh man, now we're down by 4 ships. They're only down by 2. It's 290, 493. The scores are terrible for us. We just conquered, captured, A, so yay. And look at how that suppressive torpedoes are doing, right? So just a little chipping away here, a little chipping away there. Now this is really nail-biting. We're getting real close. Gosh, I mean, I'm definitely going to be spotted. Well, I'm already spotted from the plane, but I am going to be spotted and capable of being fired at. So this is a death-defying act here. He's going in reverse, shot those. And really that's what this play is about, that and that suppressing areas. That's how you play this ship, in my opinion. Peace out, Montana. So, I mean, really that's how to run this ship. I'm not going to call it a hybrid. I mean, it's all subjective how you use these terms, but it's not a strict gunboat, right? With like 2-second or under 2-second gun reloads and that sort of thing. It's not the torpedo boat where you're launching torpedoes so far away. It's really this kind of daredevil, if you will, kind of ship. So you cannot slack when you're playing this. You really need to be focused and on it. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of ships in this game that I play where I'm super slacking. I'm drinking coffee. I'm putting cups down. I'm typing somewhere else while I'm playing, and it works out. This one here is you're almost making a run on the Death Star. That's really what it is. You're making a run on the Death Star when you're in this ship. Now, it's 458, 417. I've been babbling, probably driving you nuts. We've come up with some points. Fantastic. And in part to how we took out some ships and how we are ahead by 1 capture. So we did make a comeback there, but it's still anybody's game. I mean, it's still too close to be smug about it. One of the things, by the way, I was thinking about with the name of the ship, it reminds me every time I see it, maybe because I'm starving, is the Kleber Elves, right? Making cookies and stuff. Okay, so looks like we have some French on French violence here, as I believe I peeked a French cruiser out in the distance beyond this island. And there you go. God, you got to love that suppressive. It's almost like laying mines behind you or something, right? Dangerous breadcrumbs of where you've been. So the Yamato took some more torpedoes there. And this is a pretty good game. I mean, we are so far looking at 12 torpedo strikes, 9 floods, 2 ships down. We're at 140, I'll just round up, 143,000 damage. So not too shabby, not too shabby. Now, I should, in retrospect, maybe I should have finished off the battleship because it's so low. It's almost like easy pickings, right? But what am I doing? And not to sound sappy, this is my shtick. Sorry, this is what I'm into. It's about team play. It's about sportsmanship. It's about the greater good. When one wins, we all win. And I felt like I needed to, 1, capture this because it was on the way, and 2, I was going to attempt to assist those cruisers, but they really kept going very far away from us, so I wasn't able to quite get on them. And I don't want to go ahead and engage this guy with guns, even if I could, because he just wasn't low enough in health. But again, it's a moot point, right? Because he's still out of range. But these are the things that I'm thinking about because we're really on the borderline there. Somebody else killed off that guy that I put on his last legs. Now the enemy's down to 2 ships. Now this is a great time to start hucking some shots. Why? Because he's so low, we can probably put him down, and I'm not too worried about him focus firing on me. There you go. You're welcome. And that is the 3rd kill there. And more importantly, though, we saved our bro. He did not die. And that was the whole reason why I did it, I fast forward to the last ship here. Our guy kills him. And there you go. End of the game. Ending screen. Victory. What do we got? 413, 696 in gross silver, 142, 970 in battle. We've got a lot of this, metals and whatnot. Great stuff there. Top of the board. Net 207,000 silver. I thought it was a pretty darn good game. Guys, I want to know how you play this game. Let me know what you think of this game. And if you liked it, like it, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.